I have to build a Champions League winning team, but there's one problem. I can only buy one player from every club. Okay, let's see what club we can sign a player for, and it's FC Barcelona. That means the first player we can sign for our team could be the next goal in Lamine Yamal. However, Lamine Yamal isn't the only choice, as we also have Rafinha to pick from, or even superstar midfielders like Pedri and Gavi. But we can't forget about the best striker in the world, Robert Lewandowski, 89 rated for only 47 million. He seems like the best option. But let's wait just a second. It cannot be this easy. If I just go ahead and buy the best player from every team, it's going to be so easy. I'm going to have to build this Champions League winning team with a budget of only $1 billion. And yes, I know what you guys are thinking. $1 billion is surely enough to sign the world's best team. If you really think about it, Lamine Yamal is 100 million himself, and if we continue to sign the best players in the world for this price, we will easily run out of money before we complete a team, and we will fail this challenge. So sadly, I think I'm gonna go ahead and pass on Lamine Yamal because he is not the highest rated and he is a little bit expensive. And same for Rafinha, basically 100 million. I think we could get a better player with lower the price. And that also means that we're saying goodbye to Pedri, and we're also saying goodbye to Gavi, as they're both worth upwards of 100 million and they're just not simply worth it. And that leaves me with two options to go ahead and sign for this Champions League winning team. One of them is Robert Lewandowski at 89 rated for 47 market value. I think it might be a little bit expensive. However, Ter Stegen is an interesting option, one of the best goalkeepers in the world, and because the wheel is deciding the clubs, we cannot guarantee that we get the likes of Courtois, Ederson, or Alisson. I think I'm gonna have to go ahead and sign Ter Stegen. So from FC Barcelona, we have gone ahead and signed Ter Stegen. I know we could have signed the likes of Lamine Yamal or Rafinha, but I've gone for Ter Stegen for 75 million because we cannot guarantee an incredible goalkeeper like Courtois or Alisson. But I think with Marc-Andre Ter Stegen, we could win that Champions League. So we've added Ter Stegen to the team, and I think it's a pretty great addition, but we still have 10 more players in the starting 11 and even 8 players in the bench to fill up. So let's see what the wheel gives us next. All right, wheel, give me something good. Give me a big club. Any attackers, defenders, anybody. Arsenal. There are so many options at Arsenal. William Saliba, Gabriel Magalhaes, or even Martin Odegaard. And these are the options from Arsenal: Gabriel, William Saliba, Declan Rice, Martin Odegaard, and even Mr. Arsenal himself, Bukayo Saka. However, there is one problem. Every single one of these players are over worth 100 million. The question is, who is worth to sign for that price? I'm gonna be completely honest, I don't think I want to spend 100 million on Declan Rice or on Martin Odegaard because there are a couple older players that we can sign that are equally as good and way cheaper. And I know most of you guys are wondering, why not go for Gabriel Jesus? He's a pretty good striker who's doing really well in real life. Well, there is a striker I do have in mind that is very cheap, but is one of the best players of all time. But anyways, I think I'm also gonna get rid of William Saliba because he is only 23, so he might be extremely overpriced. So that leaves us with the second best player in London and one of the best center backs in the Premier League this season in Gabriel. So from Arsenal, I've gone ahead and signed Gabriel for 100 million. Again, another expensive sign, but he is one of the best center backs we can get in this game. And I'm hoping the wheel in the future can give us some good older players that I know are very cheap. So Gabriel has been added to the team, but remember, this is only a one-season challenge, so I'm really hoping that the wheel give us some teams that have amazing cheap players. But to be honest, with these two players, I've spent 175 million, which is basically 20% of our budget. And one of them has never won the Champions League, while the other hasn't won the Champions League in 10 years. So I'm hoping to get some Champions League winners as well. But come on, Will, give me something good. Give me some UCL winners, and it is Liverpool. There is one player I'm thinking of that I want in this team. However, before I reveal who I really want, there were some great options here at Liverpool. The best right back in the world, Trent Alexander-Arnold. The likes of Luis Diaz and Darwin Núñez, who can both play up top and both play on the wing. Or even the current best player in the world right now, Mohamed Salah, who will probably win the Ballon d'Or in real life and only worth 100 million. That is very cheap for someone of his caliber. But I think the player I want to go for is Mr. Sexy, Virgil van Dijk, only worth 55 million at a maximum with 12 months left on his contract. He is the best center back in the world. I know him and Gabriel Magalhaes can win that Champions League together. So from Liverpool, I've signed the best center back in the world for only 44 million. Back in 2018, Liverpool signed Van Dijk for 75 million. Surely, I have gotten such a steal as he now joins Gabriel in the defense. And now our keeper and our two center backs are looking solid. It's time that we look for some attackers as we spent 219 million so far. But remember, I can control what players we get as the wheel is deciding the next club that we can go for, and it's going to be Galatasaray. Victor Osimhen is the first player I think of when I see that. However, we can't sign him because he's out on loan. And I'm gonna be honest, other than Victor Osimhen, there isn't many options. So I think for this next player, we have to go ahead and sign him for the good of the overall squad. There is Lucas Torreira, who used to play for Arsenal, 83 overall. However, he's gonna be the same price around of Virgil van Dijk, and I don't think he's worth that price. There is Davinson Sanchez, who would be a great backup center back, but we already have Gabriel Magalhaes and Virgil van Dijk, so I don't think we need a great center back. So I think that only leaves us with one option, and I think it's a good one. He is an ex-UCL winner, and that is Hakim Ziyech. Used to play for Chelsea, could play at right mid and cam, and will be very cheap. So from Galatasaray, I brought in one of the best talents of all time in Hakim Ziyech for only 13 million, and he is a UCL winner. As we add him into the team, he will be in the starting 11 for now, but I just know the wheel is gonna bless us with a brilliant right winger in the future, as we spent 232 million. I'm just hoping that the wheel can give us something good. We need an exciting attacker, maybe a striker, and it's FC Porto. I'm gonna be honest, I can't think of anybody currently playing for Porto right now. And taking a look at our options, I'm not gonna lie, I am very worried. Samu is a great young striker, but he is only 77 rated and way too expensive for that price. The best player at Porto, who I think is an incredible player, but if we wouldn't have signed Ter Stegen, Diego Costa would have been an incredible option. But basically, being priced at 100 million, that leaves him out. I think once again, we're gonna have to go for an experienced player, a player possibly for the bench, and that is Wendell for only around 6 million. So I've gone ahead and signed Wendell for only 6 million, and as he gets added to the team, I'm getting extremely worried. We have a solid center backs and goalkeeper, but our attack and even our left back is looking pretty weak. Please, wheel, please bless us. But now it's time for the wheel to decide what club they're going to give us, and he gives us Chelsea. That's a great choice. We have the likes of Cole Palmer and even Moises Caicedo to choose from. And I'm not gonna beat around the bush. I'm gonna spend the money for Cole Palmer, even though there were some great options in Cucurella, Caicedo, and Reece James. But we need this for our attack. So for Chelsea, I've splashed the cash for Cole Palmer, the coldest man in the Premier League, and 130 million is kind of a steal. I expect him, if he does eventually leave Chelsea, to go for upwards of 200 million, but he has been added to the team, and I'm feeling a little bit better. With around $600 million left to go, I'm feeling a little bit confident, as we still have 12 players to sign, but let's see what the wheel gives us next. And the wheel just niced us by giving us Chelsea. Please give us another top club, and they've given us Nottingham Forest. I'm not sure how I feel about that. They're sitting in the top 4 in the Premier League, but in FIFA, they cannot be too good. When I think of Nottingham Forest, I think of Chris Wood and one of my favorite players in James Ward-Prowse, but let's be honest, they're just simply not good enough for this team. So I'm gonna be honest, the best player to go for is a versatile player who could sit on the bench and maybe even start, and I think Ola Aina will be good enough to start at fullback or even sit on the bench. So from Nottingham Forest, I've gone for Ola Aina for 11 million as he joins the side. Our defense is complete. Of course, we can replace him later, but where are the likes of Real Madrid? Where are the likes of Man City, Juventus, and AC Milan? I know some great players we can sign from there. But I'm feeling it now. For every 2 bad teams, we get a great team here, and we're gonna get Al Nassr. Yes, the man I was thinking of earlier is Cristiano Ronaldo. He is so good, and he's so cheap. We have to sign him. With only 12 months left on his contract, you know he's about to be so cheap. So for only 15 million, we have signed one of the, if not the greatest player of all time, Cristiano Ronaldo. I know there's a lot of options like Sadio Mane and Anderson Talisca, but there's no chance we weren't gonna go for Mr. Sui. And with Mr. Champions League and Cole Palmer in the same team, I'm confident we can win the Champions League already. But we still have 11 players we could sign, and we've barely spent 400 million. This team is looking great. But the wheel can easily change that with one round. But the question is, will the wheel bless us back to back? And it goes ahead and gives us AS Monaco. The only player that comes to my mind is Radamel Falcao, but he doesn't play for that team anymore. Who can we sign from AS Monaco? And when I looked at the squad, I immediately wanted to go ahead and sign Denis Zakaria or Alexander Golovin. They're pretty decent and could be in the starting 11. However, I think they might be just a little bit too expensive, and I'm not sure if it's worth the risk. And the other 2 options I had were both backup strikers, and Bril Donald and Mbolo, who would only cost around 13 million. Or this man named George. I'm not even gonna try to say his last name, but he does have 86 potential. But at the end of the day, for Monaco, I went ahead and went for Denis Zakaria for 36 million. A little bit expensive, but we do not have a midfield behind Cole Palmer, and I thought that was important as he gets added into the team. 10 players left to go, and we have only spent 430 million. The wheel is going to have to bless us really soon. But come on, wheel, give me a Real Madrid, give me a Manchester City, please give me something good, and it's Newcastle United. Alexander Isak is the first player I think of, but we already have Cristiano Ronaldo. Are there any better options there. And as I looked around, there were only really 4 choices to make because we do have some weak spots in our team. Being positions either haven't been chosen or look very weak with Hakim Ziyech. Our center mid department looks decent. We just signed Zakaria, but there is better players out there. And even our fullbacks are both below 80 overall. So here are my options. First choice is Anthony Gordon. He's been killing it in real life, but for only 82 overall and 71 million, that is simply just not worth it. And 2 of the center mid options we do have is Sandro Tonali and Bruno Guimaraes, who are both world-class players, but they're both worth over 100 million. Do we really want to spend 100 million on a CDM? And the final option is Kieran Trippier. He is really good at free kicks. He's an 82 overall and used to play for England. And for only 17 million, it'd be a huge improvement from our fullbacks. But our fullbacks really important in career mode. I think this might be a big mistake, but I'm gonna go ahead and not get Kieran Trippier and spend 100 million on one of these 2 center mids. But the question is, who should I drop 100 million on? If you were in this position, comment down below who you would sign. At the end of the day, from Newcastle, I decided on Bruno Guimaraes, but I did save a lot of money. I did get him for 90 million. That is a very good deal, and now we have a world-class CDM behind Cole Palmer. But the question is, who is the wheel going to give us now? And the wheel gives us Inter Miami, Lionel Messi, Luis Suarez, Jordi Alba, Sergio Busquets. There are so many players we can sign, and they're all old, so that means they're all going to be cheap. To be honest, as cool as it would be to sign Jordi Alba, Luis Suarez, and Sergio Busquets, I think there's one clear option. We do have a weak spot in the right wing. We have to go for Lionel Messi, the greatest player of all time. So from Inter Miami, we've gone for the GOAT and Lionel Messi for only 25 million. If you think about it, I signed the 2 best players of all time for under 50 million. That is insane, as he is now in the lineup alongside Ronaldo. Imagine Messi and Ronaldo playing together in real life. It would be just beautiful. Now with Lionel Messi and only 546 million spent, we're still missing a right winger as Hakim Ziyech moved to the bench. But now with Messi and Ronaldo, I'm feeling so confident that we'll give us something a little bit better. And Leicester City. Jamie Vardy plays for Leicester, bro. Do we really want to sign like a 38-year-old Jamie Vardy? Who else can we get from there? And I'm gonna be honest, since Leicester are probably going to relegate this year, there wasn't many options. So I'm gonna go for Jamie Vardy, a 37-year-old. For him playing on the bench, he can easily house his way a couple goals in the UCL, and I think it just might be worth it. So for only 3 million, we signed an ex-Prem winner and a Prem Golden Boot winner to add Jamie Vardy to the bench. And I can't believe this, we really got Ronaldo, Messi, and Jamie Vardy in the same team before GTA 6. But with Jamie Vardy added into the team, give us something good, give us another great player, Como. Oh my god, they're just popular because of Fabregas. I can only think of one player, and I think he's pretty good. Now, we do have 3 options, and 2 of them are UCL winners in Sergio Roberto and Alberto Moreno. But do I really want to sign weaker fullbacks than we already have now? So I don't think I'm gonna go for them. And the player I was originally thinking of, he's an ex-Real Madrid player, Nico Paz. He may only be 71 rated, but he is being touted to be the next Lionel Messi. So I'm gonna go ahead and just sign a youngster for the bench. And for only 5 million, Nico Paz joins the team as we add him to the bench. And as we're filling up our bench, I would still like that left winger. We still don't have a left winger in this team, and I would like to upgrade the CDM position, that 1 CDM position, and the 2 fullbacks. Please, wheel, give us something for that. And the wheel is getting spun. Give me Real Madrid, give me something good, and it's Tottenham Hotspur. I think if there's somebody we can sign, it could be Heung-min Son. To be honest, there are more options than Heung-min Son. We are gonna need a backup goalkeeper because if Ter Stegen gets injured and we have a 66 rated keeper, we're screwed. But I think we should be fine. We'll get somebody on the wheel so Vicario is out of there. I did mention our fullbacks, and Pedro Porro and Udogie are some of the best fullbacks in the world. But I think I'm gonna trust that we get for fullbacks. Kulusevski could be another option, but I just can't say no to Heung-min Son. It says he plays striker, but we're gonna play him on the left wing. And we could actually get him for less than 70 million. I think it's going to be worth it. So for only 60 million, we've signed the best Asian player to ever play football in Heung-min Son. And he has joined the team on the left wing, and we now have a full starting 11. But we still have 5 players to sign with 386 million left. We could easily still get somebody big for the fullbacks, for the CDM, or even an extra attacker. But that is not up to me. That is up to the wheel to give us a great club here. And we just missed out on Madrid, and we get Aston Villa. There has to be some good players there. And after taking a look around, I want to make sure that nothing happens to us if Ter Stegen gets injured. So I'm going to spend the cash, around 45 million, to sign Emiliano Martinez. For 52.5 million, we have signed the World Cup winner, Emi Martinez, and he has joined the bench. We have prevented for anything bad happening as we now have 2 world-class keepers, but we still need some more 4 great players. Only 4 players left to sign, and I still haven't gotten the best club in the world, Real Madrid, but we get Man United. Back in the day, we could have gone for Ronaldo or Rooney, but now we have to deal with the likes of Rashford and maybe even Bruno Fernandes. Who should I sign from United? And to be honest, I was wrong. There are a couple options of players we can sign. There is the talented Alejandro Garnacho, but to be sitting on the bench and being worth around 50 million, I don't think it's worth it. And you guys may think I'm kidding, but I was actually thinking about signing Harry Maguire, only 15 million for a pretty decent backup center back. But at the end of the day, we do need a fullback. We can sign Diego Dallo or Mazraoui, who can both play on both fullbacks. But I think I'm gonna go for the better one, an 83 rated Diego Dallo. So from Man United, for 40 million, we have signed Diego Dallo, who could play right back and left back. And now, as he is a starting right back for now, 3 more players left to go. The wheel, please give us something great. All right, come on, 3 more players. Give us a left back, give us a center mid, and give us Real Madrid. Al Ittihad. Ooh, there are some pretty good options there. N'Golo Kante and Karim Benzema. Who knows who we're gonna sign? So from Al Ittihad, we have some great options. Danilo Pereira, first of all, a backup center back. We still haven't signed one, but I think we still have time to sign a backup center back. There is Karim Benzema, but I don't want to sign Karim Benzema for some reason. And we do have 2 options for CDM. A position we need Fabinho, who is just slightly better than Zakaria, but for the same price, we can get N'Golo Kante, a World Cup winner and one of the best DMs the world has ever seen. We have to sign this humble man. And for only 30 million, we have signed N'Golo Kante, one of the greats in the game, as he pairs up with Cole Palmer and Guimaraes, and our team is looking very solid. And with only 2 players left to go, I'm sure we can get a better left back than Wendell and maybe one more super signing, as we have 263 million left to go. The question is, with a couple clubs still left there, we can still get Real Madrid or City. Please, just don't give us the shit teams. And it's going to be Brighton and Hove Albion. Again, just like Nottingham, amazing in real life. But in FIFA, they're not the best. And low-key, getting Brighton was a blessing in disguise. We're gonna go ahead and go for Kadioglu. He may be a little bit expensive, but we do need a better fullback. So for 52.5 million, a little bit expensive, but it is a good fullback in Kadioglu as he joins the first team. 1 player left to go, and we still have 210 million left to spend. We need a big player here, but will the wheel bless us? Give us Real Madrid. Man City is what we want, and we get Man City. No Real Madrid, sadly. That means we can't get the likes of Kylian Mbappe, Jude Bellingham, or Vinicius. To be honest, we probably weren't able to afford them, but Man City do have some big players. Look at the options of players we can sign for the last position. Gavardia, Diaz, Silva, Rodri, KDB, Erling Haaland, and Phil Foden. I'm gonna be honest, I don't know who to sign. Who can we even afford? Sadly, it seems like Erling Haaland is not going to be the one. He's a little bit too expensive, so he's out of here. Gavardia might be a great signing, but we already have good fullbacks and good defenders. I think we're gonna pass on him as well. KDB is an interesting option, but we do have Cole Palmer, so I'm gonna pass. And for the CDMs and center mid, we do have Bruno Guimaraes and Kante, so I'm gonna pass on the Ballon d'Or winner Rodri and Bernardo Silva. So that leaves us with Ruben Diaz, another great center back, and Phil Foden. However, we do have Lionel Messi. He could play over Heung-min-Son, but Heung-min-Son does score a lot of goals, so maybe the most boring way to end this way, but I think I'm gonna go for another solid center back in Ruben Diaz. So for 110 million, we signed the second best center back in this game in Ruben Diaz, and he now is playing alongside Van Dijk. You know this team is good when Gabriel Magalhaes is sitting on the bench, but we did have 67 million left. The question is this team good enough to win us the Champions League? But it's time to see how they did, and in the group stages, they finished in second place, only behind the greatest team of all time in Real Madrid. So they go ahead and skip the playoffs, and now in the round of 16, they have beaten Stuttgart. What are Stuttgart doing in the round of 16? 5-1, and in the quarterfinals, they beat RB Leipzig 6-3. So far, easy teams in the knockout stages, and in the semifinals, they have beaten Atletico Madrid barely. That means the team with one player from every club is now in the UCL final against Man City, against the likes of Erling Haaland and Kevin De Bruyne. However, there is some bad news. We have 2 injuries to the team in Cristiano Ronaldo and Karioglu, and Ruben Diaz is suspended for the UCL final, but this team has really surprised me so far. However, another issue is that a lot of these players were old and they have all gone down in overall. Are we going to lose this UCL final? And of course, we're gonna miss Ronaldo, who was our top goal scorer, but Cole Palmer, Heung-min Son, and even Lionel Messi were incredible. Question is, can the one player from every club go ahead and win this UCL? Players from the best teams in the world, from players to the worst teams in the world, can they go ahead and secure the UCL title? And yes, they have 1-0. Who was the hero? Heung-min Son was the hero. And they have done it. They won the Champions League. And if you guys enjoyed this video, make sure to click on this video right here.